And we're live.
Hi. Hey.
Tasha here.
This is Erica.
And we have some guests today.
Woo. Can y'all introduce yourselves?
Akila. I'm Ellie.
All right, y'all. And we are Finding Freedom.
Yes.
And we are here about to eat some good old food, y'all.
Some seafood, a little McBang, okay?
Yes, a little mukbang.
Mukbang.
Yeah, we about to eat some good old food, y'all. We about to have a great conversation with these wonderful women here. And what's the title?
The topic today is the single life and single mom life. So it's a mixture. Just giving our different perspectives of life and our lives.
Yes, because all of us are single, yes, but all of us are not mothers. All of us, some of us are mothers, some of us are not. I guess I should say that. So I'm the one that's not the mom, and everybody else here are mothers, and we're gonna ask certain questions about having children and being single and what's that's like and making different points. So
Yeah.
join us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's the first topic? What's the first?
Okay, so the first topic that we have is just kind of like the day in the life of, like, what's life like? Like if I could describe it in one word, I would say adventurous. It has its ups and its downs, honestly. There are some days where I'm like, oh, I love you, baby. And there's other times where I'm like, girl, love. Stop it, okay? Like, really? Okay, so yeah. Just kind of describing that. What is it like for you? Like, what?
Well, I guess I start first because, like, I'm single.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can just get up and go and do whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Child.
You know, and I guess, you know, I see other mothers, and I know that they, you know, a lot of single mothers, and I know it's hard for them. And I guess sometimes I feel guilty. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, I love being able to get up, get myself dressed, and go wherever somebody say, oh, you want to go somewhere? I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I can just go, and I don't have to find anybody to watch children or anything, you know. It's fun. But I think sometimes I feel guilty for being by myself because I'm at the age I am, and I'll be transparent, of course. You know, I'm not ashamed of my age. I'm 34, and I don't have any children. And so sometimes that silent guilt can creep up and be like, you don't got no kids, you 34. And then almost everybody around you got kids. Like, what's up with you? Like, so sometimes that can be, a thing that I get perplexed with sometimes.
So it sounds like social expectations that by a certain age you should settle down from your single ways and be a wife and a mom, or at least one of.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it self-imposed guilt, or is it like guilt that other people put on you?
I think it's a little bit of both. A little bit of both because I think, society is like a silent voice that be like, you should have kids by now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you should already have kids. You should already be married, you know, and it's like, I'm having to tell myself, like, I'm fine. Like, I really am okay. I think it's a reason why I don't have kids right now. So, yeah, like, that's kind of where I've been with that. But, yeah.
Oh my God, there's egg on my boob. It dropped right now.
Get it, girl.
Get that egg out, girl.
Got it. Okay. You watching this live here, folks. Eggs on boobs. But yeah, so from your perspective,
Okay, so I want to piggyback off of what you said.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I'm Liz to my friends, but on Instagram I'm Ellie Imani, and that's like my artist name.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, do you guys watch Sex and the City?
Yes.
One of my favorite shows ever. And so I binge watched through the whole series. I'm on season 6A right now.
6A.
Mm-hmm. I know it's split into 6A and 6B.
Oh, okay.
Bougie.
Very interesting, right?
Bougie, okay.
But this reminds me of Charlotte. how she wanted to have a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and how she really didn't. She didn't actually have a kid until she was close to 40 because she was challenged in that area.
Okay.
But she did adopt close to 40 as well. I think she was in her late 30s. And she adopted her child, and then she got pregnant right after.
Wow.
So, I say that to say that it's really not a race, and no one can tell you when's the right time to have a kid, honestly. Because I can tell you that, I was pregnant at 23, I had Bree at 24, and the biggest question that I had, and I know people did not appreciate this because they expect moms, especially in the church, to be, I'm so happy, I'm so blessed, this is the best day of my life, this is all I've ever wanted was to raise a child, and I'm not that person, I'm so sorry.
Right.
I'm not. I'm rich auntie. I'm not. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, just being honest with you. So the question that I had, and this is what I took to my pastor at the time all the time, I was like, but what about me?
Yes.
I have dreams and goals, and I'm still a person, and I haven't really been able to live life yet, and I'm having this kid, and y'all are all telling me that my life isn't ever going to be mine again because I have to give it all to someone else, and that doesn't seem fair.
Right.
Right.
And so I found in my personal experience that that's not true. People make it what they want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And they also accept ideas that they did not create themselves, and they manifested in their lives. So that other people who were parents from a young age did give up their entire lives for their children, but it was by choice. Even if someone else pressured you into that choice, it was still a choice that you took upon yourself to do.
Right.
I haven't had that experience. My 20s after I had a baby were the most adventurous and exciting. I had the most fun. I traveled way more. I made all these interesting friends from all walks of life. Like, I feel way cooler and just way more well-rounded once I had a baby than I did before I had a baby. And, I don't compare it to my friends that are single, but I feel like, in a sense, having a child has helped me to prioritize and make the most of every moment in a way that it didn't push them to do. Because a lot of them are kind of still sitting at home and just like, all right, what do I do with myself? Where I'm out here with like a business, and I've published a book, and I have a publication, and I'm going from place to place and city to city with a kid,
Yes.
So it's all what you make it, honestly. I love that light.
It was like
Mic drop.
It was like, yes, it was confirmation.
Okay.
Right. So what about you?
Me, well, okay, first let me make sure I answer the question. What was the question again?
Okay. So, Tasha, what was the question?
About balancing, basically.
Balance.
Or what Erica was talking about specifically was like her freedom and like how she feels about that as a single person. And then you piggyback off of it, if I'm correct, and was talking about kind of how like, it didn't really change it. You're still just as free, basically,
Yeah, so I think what I've learned, let's see, my first child is 10. So in 10 years, I've learned that it really is what you make it. And you kind of have to, it depends on the mindset you have going into it. Like, for me, I was 21 when I was pregnant with her. 22, something like that. And, I don't know. I had an old soul as a little girl. So for me, I was always very serious and, kind of tight-knit. And then when I got into my teens, I was like, yeah, no, that's not life, So by the time I started really living, I got pregnant. So for me, it was, I had the mindset that my life was not my own anymore. Everything had to be about her. And then I just kept adding kids. Kept adding kids. So now my youngest is 6. And I finally like, nope, my life is still mine. I just have to share it with them.
Right.
So I, much like Liz said, I just include them and stuff. Like, yeah, I want to go to the Poconos, but in the Poconos they have Kalahari, which is for kids. So we're going to make it a family trip, but we're going to get a babysitter. And one night, I'm going to the 21 and over section, and y'all are going to stay in the room, and mommy will be back, So it is what you make it. I mean, my kids are my greatest joy. The older I get, the more I realize why I had them, because I would have made a lot of different decisions had I not had them.
Yeah.
So they definitely changed my life, but they also saved my life, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I mean, and my kids are great. Like right now, they think I'm cool because they're young.
No, that's
So
right.
I fully enjoy being the cool mom because my daughter is almost a preteen, and I won't be the cool mom anymore.
Mhm.
So I love it. I mean, it's great. It's all about balance, and you do have to unlearn some things and then learn some new things. Like a lot of stuff I learned, unfortunately, church. It's not realistic, you know. And every child is different, so you can't apply one rule to every kid. Like, you know, I have one kid that is like, where we going? What we doing? Then I have one kid who's like, I just want to stay home. And then I have one kid who's like, I mean, are you going to buy me a Slurpee? Fine, then let's go. You know, so it just depends. Kids are different. I'm different. We change every couple years anyway as people. So, yeah.
And that's a good thing. I like when you said that we change every couple of years as people, because as we evolve as a person, as an individual, our views change, our perspective changes, and so that's what I really like about what you just said. Like, my question to you all, I know the answer, but for everybody else out there, have you all been married before?
Well,
Yes.
before I answer that, can I piggyback off of what you said real quick?
Absolutely.
So, I like to point out that because we're all changing and growing and we all have different trajectories, right?
Right.
Maturity looks different for everybody.
Yes.
And I love to stress that, because one thing that the church teaches you, and society in general, is that as you get older, you're supposed to be more serious and more reserved. And if you're not, something's wrong with you. You're not doing it right. And that's just not the case.
Right.
I mean, some of us start off, like you said, very serious.
Yep.
And we have to learn as we get older to be more free and open and expressive, and to give life a chance.
Absolutely.
And then others of us start off kind of crazy. And we have to learn to reel it in.
You're right.
And that's cool. Everyone's different. You know?
Right.
Wow.
But if you're But if you're really judging people off of your journey, like that's how we mess up. That's how we mess up. That's what I'm saying. But yes. Alright, so I've been married before, whatever. Y'all, I don't know. Don't obsess over it. Like, don't. It's not even, you know, with the right person, it's great. But I swear to God, like, it's just not.
Church. Okay.
Yeah, for real. I mean, it's a good question to ask, because it's a different perspective coming from a home of marriage and a home of just got pregnant by somebody. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a deep question, I guess, because everybody's marriage, obviously they're not married anymore, so we know it didn't go that great. But
it was the way it was supposed to, though.
Pretty much.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't even say, like, you know, it didn't work out great, because it's like, honestly, I learned so much about myself.
Yes.
You know, from that experience.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't take it away. Like, yeah, it was moments where I'm like, okay, but it taught me so much about myself. It pushed me into the person I am today. Really. And, yeah, like, just to piggyback off of what they were saying in terms of it, like, I feel like, you know, for me, I'm a newbie. My baby's 2, so I'm still learning, like, okay, like, oh, this is how it is, okay. Like, I was just talking to Erica, like, sometimes I'd be like, oh, I'm a mom, like, oh,
it really hits you, right?
That never ends. That never ends.
Okay. I still say that, and she's 6.
Yeah,
I'm like, no, I'm a mom.
Yeah, my daughter is 10. I'm like, you looking at me eye to eye, like, what? I'm your mom?
Yeah.
Right?
She'd be like, mommy. I'd be like, oh yeah. Oh yes, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that never ends.
Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, but it's like I'm learning, like, I still have identity outside of that, because, like, you guys have said the church teaches you, like, oh, you know, once you're a mom, stuff changes. And even society in general, a lot of times, you know?
That's
Like,
because they have expectations on us women to change. They don't have expectations on
the
men
men.
at all.
Oh my
Men
God.
can't be dads, and that
Yeah.
will never be all that they are. It's just a part of who they are.
Right.
As soon as women become moms, that has to be the all-encompassing
Your
thing.
whole
We
identity.
can't be sexy no more.
Mhm.
We can't go out and have fun with our friends no more.
Yep.
We can't prioritize self-care anymore.
The mom
We are
guilt
all
is
about our
real.
children, or we
Like,
are all about our man, or we are failing.
the
And that's some
mom
bullshit.
guilt, yes.
straight up. Okay.
The mom guilt.
I'm so
is
sorry
no
if y'all
joke.
like cursing, but that's some bullshit.
Oh, girl, it's all right. It's all right. You're free here. This mic off on that thing, okay?
Free, okay.
All right.
oh, I said that mom guilt is real.
Yes, it is.
And it's not just self-inflicted. Like, people will really make you feel bad for prioritizing yourself. But then, when you do something like, I don't know, say you want to kill yourself or you get depressed, then it's like, why didn't you say anything? What? I did. And you guys made me feel awful for saying, you know what, I just want to go to the spa by myself. Like, for a few hours, and everybody makes you feel bad. Or you make yourself feel bad. Like, I'm that mom, not anymore. I'm going to speak that. Not anymore. I'm that mom that will spend hundreds of dollars on my kids, not think twice about it. But then buy myself something that costs $20 and literally take it back. Like, oh, I don't
used to be that way.
I don't want.
I used to be that way.
I don't do it anymore. I don't do it anymore. But yeah, mom guilt is sometimes it's self-inflicted. Most of the time, it comes from other people.
Yeah, I think we just learn to police ourselves to avoid the criticism of other people.
Agreed.
That's honestly
agreed.
Yeah, I've been told that before. Like, I remember one time, like, I like natural hair, and I wanted my daughter's hair to be natural, right? And, like, a lot of people are like, oh, well, you got your hair braided, braid your daughter's. And it's like, but...
Beyonce said it best, baby. I like my baby's hair with baby hairs and afro.
Okay? Period. Like, I've received so much criticism, and I'm just like, she's taken care of. Her hair is healthy and good. If I want to put braids on my hair... So, like, let me live. Let me live.
You're the adult.
First of all, if I want to, I can lay and slay my hair. I can get a 22-inch, virgin weave. And my daughter's going to be just fine with her natural hair being beautiful because she needs to learn from the get-go that her hair is fine the way it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like one of the things that, we can do as black moms that sort of send our daughters the wrong message is start off by, like, perming their hair or putting fake hair.
I agree.
And it's one of those things that's like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all to do, but if you do it too soon and too much, you kind of teach them that, okay, your natural hair needs to be hidden and tamed.
Yeah.
You never want to give them that. Because they, they don't have the complex thinking that we do. We're like, oh, it's fine. It's just fashion. It's just easy. It's just quick. To them, it's like, oh, what's wrong with my hair that mom keep hiding it?
Yeah, my daughters are the reason I went natural in the first place. When I found out I was having girls, I stopped relaxing my hair because I wanted, that was the first thing I thought about. Like, I got a relaxer at a very young age. And I remember the undoing that I had to do in order to embrace my natural hair. And I didn't want them to have to go through that. So I literally went natural because of my kids. And they love their hair now. Like, my daughter will wake up in the morning, spray her little spray, put her little headband on. I'm like, oh, you cute, girl.
Okay.
And I don't have to think twice about it. Like, if their hair is straight, it's because I straightened it. Usually once a year just to trim it. But they love their curls, and I'm thankful for that.
I love it. I'm like opposite trajectory for me. A little bit side note. I was always natural growing up. Like, I never permed it or anything. I didn't really wear fake hair outside of braids. So I'm just now in my 20s. I started getting into wearing weaves and stuff, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So Bree, sometimes she'll ask me like, oh, how come I can't have straight hair like yours or colorful hair like yours? And I'll be like, look, your hair is beautiful and my hair is beautiful. I'm an artist, and so it is my job to switch it up and wear makeup. It doesn't mean that my skin isn't beautiful, my hair isn't beautiful. It's just I like to express myself, and when you're old enough, you can do that too. So now, every now and then, I put a little makeup on her eyebrows so she can have pink eyebrows too. Or, you know what I mean? She can sometimes wear my wigs and, like, be a princess or whatever, or be like a rock star. But I love what you said about, like, teaching them to love their natural hair because it's so important.
Yeah.
So important.
Yeah. So,
dating.
Yo, this is good, by the way.
Yes, y'all. Let me tell you something real quick. Sidebar. Tasha, this girl,
Tasha, the
this
bartender,
woman is great.
Yeah.
With making drinks. Okay, so yes, if you ever want to be in on one of these, she is the one. Okay, anyway.
Do y'all want to try this Italian escargot?
I'll try some.
Okay.
So it's a gray.
The gray?
Listen, I have a child's palate over here. I'm okay.
I'm nervous.
I'm
See how you
good. She said, I'm nervous. How does it taste?
You like it? Yeah.
It's like seafoody. Like,
Hey, that's girl.
Okay.
All right, what's the next? What did you say?
Dating.
Whew, let me sit.
What? And I do.
Oh God.
This is for you.
Damn.
Start.
Oh, dating.
Well, since she's talking.
Okay, so
Oh God.
you watch Sex and the City. Do y'all watch Sex and the City too?
I have not.
I've heard of it, but I've never actually tuned in.
What character are you?
That's a good question.
Ooh, y'all, what character are you on the Sex and the City?
Yes.
We're talking about single moms and dating. What character are you on Sex and the City? Come on with it. Come on, comments.
I'm not Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
It's hard, right?
I feel like I have aspects of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to even say this out loud, but I might just be, what's her name?
I'm definitely Samantha.
I think I'm Samantha.
I'm Samantha too.
But with kids.
Right. It's like
I think I'm Samantha.
it's like if Samantha and Miranda, once she had a kid.
Like if they collided.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me
but
too.
I'm definitely a bit more free spirited than just a Miranda. So,
yeah.
So just so y'all know, Samantha is she's the oldest of the pack. She's about 10 years older than everyone else. And she's a sexually liberated woman. That's kind of like one of the main things. But the main thing about it isn't that she just goes out and has a lot of sex. It's really that she's empowered and she's
comfortable with her sexuality.
That's it. And comfortable with who she is. And she doesn't, while the other girls are obsessing over when will I get married and when will I find a man or whatever, she's the only one that's like, yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I just kind of want to keep having fun for the rest of my life.
They come and they go. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Okay.
Why does it have
from
one?
a place of experience, not a place of immaturity.
Right.
But
Right.
she's older than them.
Right.
She has her own business. She's well off. She just
Mm-hmm.
attracts men like flies. She has fun with them, and then she just moves forward. And she does fall in love a few times, and has meaningful relationships. So she's not like commitment phobic or anything.
Right.
She just knows who she is, and she knows when a person isn't really going to add to her, when it's not going to work. So she doesn't cling to it. She doesn't try to force anything. She's just about living her life,
Mm-hmm.
and I love it. Go for it.
Awesome. What would you say dating is like for you, Erica?
Yes, no kids. Come
Yeah,
on.
right.
Let's live vicariously through you.
It for me, I don't know. I probably would say it's similar to you all because I mean, you know, your mother's like. We still talk to people. We still meet people when we're out or wherever we are. If it's at work, if it's where. I think it's the same. I think it's the same almost. It's just I don't have children.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, like dating nowadays is usually on the phone. You're talking like people date online.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
I love it. Introvert here. Okay, it's like my heaven. All right.
Yeah, for me,
I get bored.
I like to meet people in person. I want to talk to you on the phone. I cannot do texting.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm an empath and everything, but I can't feel everything I need to feel through this computer screen.
Yeah, right.
I need to see your face. I need to feel your energy. Like
I need to feel your abs.
That too.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
Maybe some more.
Like, what kind of cologne do you wear?
Right.
Do you wear cologne? Like, I don't know.
Let me just say, there's nothing like a male energy. Like, it's satisfying.
Yes.
Let's be honest. It
Yes.
is.
Even it doesn't have to be sexual.
It
Just
don't.
Just
It really don't.
Just
It really
masculine
don't.
energy. Period.
Yes.
It's just
It really doesn't.
nothing like it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, considering that I'm pan-romantic, so I've dated women too.
Mm-hmm.
I really love men.
Yes,
You know?
nothing like it.
It's right. There is nothing like it. The same way there's nothing like feminine energy, there's also nothing like masculine energy, and I lean just a lot of bit more toward that. To be honest with you, I just love men. Yeah.
So,
Fabulous.
like, okay, so my question for y'all, know we a little bit, off of our little list, but what would you say it is like dating, and I know we're getting a little, deep, but being sexual with children?
Child.
It don't make a difference.
No, it really doesn't.
Good night, baby.
Listen,
Like,
melatonin is a
I
godsend.
was about to say, stop
Listen,
I
okay?
like that guy here.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Especially since the ones of us with children have all also been married, you master the art of making it do what it
Period.
do
Okay.
when you gotta do it, okay?
Okay.
So it's not that much different.
It
for,
really
me, for
isn't.
me, that's debatable, but I understand. Yeah.
Okay, all right, no,
Yeah.
go deeper.
Do,
Come
well,
on.
do,
What is
do,
that?
do, do share.
All right, so. Sorry, this crawfish is really good.
It is good. That food is good, y'all.
This food is slamming. I'm sorry, y'all. Like,
We got it from the Krusty Krab. I mean,
No,
the Krabby
crab.
Krab.
Okay,
Krusty
SpongeBob.
Krab.
I goes in when I eat, so
I
just
know,
ignore
yeah.
me.
But okay, so I'm on the LGBTQA plus QIA plus. I'm sorry, gotta include intersex spectrum, and so I fall under a form of asexuality that's called demisexual. So that's when you have to have some form of emotional connection with someone before you experience sexual feelings for them.
Yes.
So-
I'm demisexual too.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I've absolutely
Yes.
never seen a guy and just been like, "Oh, he's sexy. I need to have sex with him."
Oh, me
It's
either.
never been like
Me
that.
either.
Nah.
Like I can appreciate the fact that you're fine,
Yeah, yeah.
but I'm not gonna want to
Right.
sleep with you
Right.
until I feel something with you.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. I learned something new today.
Me too.
See, that's why we
So-
have this thing.
Did not know that.
So that and me being a third generation preacher's kid and being very Christian and also dealing with trauma around sexuality when I was very young. You know, when I got married, it had nothing to do with attractiveness or sexiness. I didn't find him attractive at all. And I wasn't sexually attracted, you know. It was something that was more of a Christian duty that I was guilted into by a lot of church people.
Yeah.
Who are like, well, you're married, you can't withhold sex. And I was like, but I'm not very sexual with this person,
Okay.
you know. And so one of the few times I had sex is just when I got pregnant. So for me, it wasn't like, oh, I just want to, you know, it was never really like that. But after I divorced and I was out, you know, I actually did, every experience I had after that was like pleasure-based. I've had many experiences, and I'm proud of that, where I've had a lot of fun and I've felt very sexy and I've felt very fulfilled, but marriage just wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
I learned that part of myself after that fact,
Right.
you know. But with the baby, it doesn't make a damn difference. Because they're at the babysitter, or they're
Thank
with
you.
daddy, or their melatonin knocked out.
I agree.
And
Listen, even if you gotta prepare the others, I'm not coming to work today.
Okay. Oh, dang.
And do what you gotta do.
Okay, all right.
Listen, I got this paid time off for a reason.
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
And sexual gratification is absolutely a form of self-care.
Yes.
It really is.
Yes.
We need it.
Oh, go
Yes.
ahead. Go, please. Go
Listen.
ahead. Please explain. Let's hear that.
Yes.
Please. Let's hear that. More of that.
Well,
I really didn't respect or appreciate that until I became single. Like,
Exactly.
because much like you in my marriage, I'm not gonna say it was awful, but it felt like a duty. It felt like after a while, it felt like something I just had to do. Like, because much like you in church, you know, I learned you can't withhold from you. You never tell your husband no.
Right,
And,
right.
Yeah.
you know, your body don't belongs to him. But why? Like, who taught y'all that? Like,
Right.
what? So,
What does that say?
yeah, you know, show me that. But,
Yeah, please.
so I struggled with that as well because, what did you say? Demisexual?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we've been arguing for weeks,
There's nothing sexy about you.
I don't even want to
Okay.
sleep in the bed with you. Like, I don't want you to touch
Okay.
me. I don't, you know, so, yeah, married sex, I need a redo because
Child.
I mean,
Next time will be better, okay?
yeah.
Second
Right.
My sex life in my marriage was lit. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I love it.
I love
gotta
that.
live it.
I love that
it.
for you. I love that for us.
I'm about to say.
Yeah, it's possible. You know, with the right person.
Yeah.
If that, you know.
Oh,
but-
it's probable with the right person.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because if y'all attracted and y'all spending y'all, you know, your lives together,
Right.
You love each other, and you're
Mhm.
there. It's gonna be a trip to Pound Town often.
It was. You be
at the same
happy to
time-
put the kids to bed.
Yeah, I obviously, like, as once I separated, I felt more sexually liberated.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I'm a freak. I'm just gonna be honest.
Me too.
But it was positive because I
It's
was
what it
married.
is.
I didn't really get to. I didn't feel comfortable. Let me put it that way. Exploring it as much, you know, in my marriage, but we still had a very active and passionate sex life, you know. But like I said, as I separated and kind of got out there a little more, you know, I definitely just became more comfortable with my sexuality in general and with who I was, and so yeah, it's lit. Like,
I love it.
Yeah, that's
Now,
a new perspective for me. I don't think I've ever heard a married woman say that.
Really?
yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's.
yeah.
I've never heard a married woman
Wow.
that I know, you know, that I've encountered say, like, we have an amazing sex life. No.
So
That's why I'm never
I've heard.
it.
I've actually heard women say that. I haven't
Women,
heard
yeah.
men say that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's the thing.
Oh, that too. Mm-hmm.
And in my experience, and I know it's a very limited experience, but the couples that I met that were in church, it would it's like the males were the ones who had a struggle with, I guess, I don't want to say infidelity because they didn't necessarily actively step out, but their minds and their lust wandered, you know what I mean? And they actively tried to make their women feel like they were the it girl because that was what was right to do. But you can kind of tell that they were always kind of like itching for something else, which is the hard part because those same men would be the ones who would stand in the pulpit or just give their testimonies and be talking about, you know, Jezebels and harlots trying to break up your marriage. And for real, what it is
I'm about to
you want something else, and you're not honest about what you want, and your wife might not be honest about not being able to fulfill certain things.
Bang,
Right.
bang.
And so you looking at women that you find attractive, and you're calling them Jezebels. You know they ain't looking at your ass.
Mhm.
They don't care about you at all.
Come on.
Let's be honest.
True.
Okay.
True.
They living their lives being cute. All they did was, I don't know, have
Come to
eye
church.
contact with you for 2 seconds. They'll come to church.
Mhm.
She
And
said
you
come to
took
church.
it. That's
Show
literally, they existed, and here you go. Nobody at all. She's Jezebel. She want me. No, she don't. She didn't ask about you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you know, that's the side that I heard was not necessarily that the men were satisfied, but the women were, because the men were like, it's my godly duty to make my wife feel like she's the most beautiful woman on earth, even if I find many other women attractive. So it's actually very refreshing that you guys were both like
I agree.
just naturally
Mhm.
into it.
Yeah.
I love that.
And then, like, one thing that really stuck out for me that you said is that, like, I mean, men are going to find other women attractive. Like, it's happens.
Yeah.
Like, and not every woman is comfortable with that. I know, like, in my last relationship, situationship, whatever you called it, that's something we were very open about. Like, if we see, like, a woman that's attractive, we're going to be like, oh, okay. Like, you know, but I know that not everybody, but everyone is attracted. I mean, comfortable with that, you know? But I think it's just, you know, important to just be open, you know, and just keep things like live and lit. Like, like societal constraints really can dampen things. You know what I mean?
True.
It can.
Mhm.
And I can say as a woman who's actually attracted to other women that was a refreshing part, I think, for my ex when we were, you know, when we were together, is that we would actually woman watch, and it wouldn't be like, oh, I'm just saying it to seem like the cool girlfriend. Like, no, I actually was saying, like, no, she's fine. She is. Like, she's a nice ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Right.
All right. And I think that it made him feel comfortable because he's like, okay, I can see this is coming from like a genuine place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like y'all's connection versus, girl, when I say I have worked as a bartender and I've seen awkward situations where couples will come to the bar and try that, and women will try to act like, oh, I'm cool, I can say another girl is cute, but they don't actually mean it, and you can tell, and it devolves
Never
into
ends
this
well.
weird,
Yeah.
oh my god,
Never ends well.
Ugh, never.
Yeah, it's okay if that's not you, but just be true to yourself.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Cause I can be a little jealous. I mean, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I know for me, definitely, like, I as I've grown, as I evolved it internally, because you have to grow. You have to learn to love yourself, be confident in yourself. Like as you grow in confidence in yourself, you'll definitely understand that other people outside of you are beautiful or handsome or whatever. Like, you'll be like, oh, like your eyes will be open to understanding. Oh well, they're people too, and they're beautiful too. Like they deserve compliments, and they deserve, you know what I'm saying? Like they deserve to know who they are, and it's not gonna take anything away from you to give somebody else a compliment and to wish them well and to, you know, like want to bless somebody else with your words. You know what I'm saying? And I'm learning that. Especially, you know, me being a larger woman, you know, it's different out here being single and dating because a lot of society probably prefers somebody that looks more like a modelish type, like smaller modelish. But it's like I'm learning, like, hey, there's another world out here of larger women that are modeling, and like this whole BBW thing is on the rise.
Yes, it is.
You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with me loving myself for who I am, and I'm learning to do that. Like I got all kind of stuff going on with my body, and I'm like, okay. Okay. Look, I think maybe a year ago, probably less than that, I didn't really like myself too much. Now I'm like, ooh, girl, well, yeah, I know you got that going on down there, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? You love it, and it's important if you love yourself. And then when you become confident in yourself, you're definitely gonna look at other people and be like, oh, girl, you look good. And for and be for real.
Yeah.
Like, not lying.
Not
like,
shady.
Right. Not shady.
Genuinely, like, girl, you look beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Real life. You know, so that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Love it.
You know.
I found that I tapped into a lot of my self-confidence through discovering my sexuality and my sensuality.
Yes.
I mean, because although I had my own confidence, I definitely left my marriage with a lot of insecurities, like a lot of insecurities. So it did take for different encounters with different people, not saying like I had a whole bunch of them, but it did take a lot. It did take some men that I was involved with to say like if you don't have stretch marks, are you even a woman? And I'm like, oh,
that's good.
Like, you know, no, like I respect that you're trying to lose weight, but can you not lose all your stomach? Because I like a little bit of stomach.
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, I like that.
Like I love your thighs. Really? Like the cellulite too? Okay.
Oh,
The fupa?
Yeah.
You want the fupa?
And I mean, yeah. And even if those encounters went nowhere after that, I left with so much. Like they deposited so much, you know, and it definitely left me like, okay,
Yeah,
feeling myself a little bit. Like, okay. So yeah.
Yes, and I love that you can admit that because some people are like, oh, I just did this, like, oh, like I just found my confidence. Like, no, it feels good to get compliments. Like,
Yes,
yes,
it feels hella good. Like,
I never even knew I needed them.
man, yes,
Yeah.
we need that.
Until I got them. So I was like,
Right.
oh, that did something to my heart chakra right there.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, definitely.
And I can say as a woman who has always been on the like almost too small side, and I don't mean that like from a physically I didn't like myself standpoint. I mean literally I'm on the lowest end of a healthy BMI possible. So if I slip even a little bit, if I miss a meal, I can literally be in a danger zone. Right? So I didn't hit 100 pounds till college, and I would like actively try to eat as much as I could to stay in a healthy weight. And so when I got pregnant and I hit 164, that was the biggest I'd ever been. For the first time, I was like, oh my God, I wear a size 6. You know what I mean? And then like after that, I had like little stretch marks on my stomach, like, right under my belly button, and I have stretch marks on my ass. And so like after that,
So they got bigger.
you know what I mean? I felt like I graduated. So I say that because it's like, men appreciate it, but little do you know that there are women who appreciate it too. And who look at body types like yours and say, okay, girl. And for some reason, they don't always say it. I say it when I see women who are thicker. Because I love it. I think it's a beautiful body type, but there are a lot of us who might not say it, but who look at your body types and are like, okay, girl.
I see you.
You better win-win.
She always compliments me, like always. Like she never lets a moment go by. Oh, hello, my sexy butter biscuit.
Hey, Thicka.
Yes, I was like, yes. It feels good. It feels good, y'all.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with you because, like I said, I didn't really find, like, if anybody knows me, like, I was, like, the woman with, like, long dresses.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, I was, like,
Do you
really
remember her?
conservative, like,
Woo,
long
Jesus.
skirts, like, no cleavage, like,
Nothing.
baggy clothes.
I didn't know she had a butt.
I wasn't far behind you, so I wasn't far behind you, so.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, wait a minute, okay.
Yes.
Okay, like, yeah.
But where did you get it from?
Where did I get it from? I mean, honestly, like, I just kind of, okay, so, like, my separation catapulted that. And, like, I started getting attention, honestly. And I was like, oh, wait, I am cute. And then I found this confidence within myself. And, like, I did find it. Like, I was like, okay, like, let me try something new. Let me see. And, like, I was like, I really like this. Like, okay. And then I just kept doing it. And I just started to become comfortable in my own skin. And that's really what, you know, catapults into it, I guess. And, like, yeah. But, yeah, like, obviously attention, it does help. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
Remember when we first met at Bartholomew's house? Or what's his name? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Barrington.
Is that his name?
Barrington.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Not Bartholomew.
Barrington ain't far off from that,
Not Greek mythology.
Bartholomew, guys.
But no, when I first met you, I was like, they are so cute.
No shade if your name is Bartholomew.
Yes.
It just caught me off guard.
Or Barrington. They're both great names.
They
I just
are.
did not remember. I remember there was some kind of old long B name. And that's just sort of how I went there from there. But
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Barrington knows some really cute ladies. And that was my first impression of you guys. So you're fine. You fire.
Far. We on
Far.
far.
We on fire, alright.
No, next one.
What about, like, you all? It's like, how was your pregnancy? Like, how was that? I guess for me, it was very traumatic. And honestly, yes. A lot of people don't know, but yeah, it was traumatic for me. And honestly, like, it made, like, even now, I'm like, okay, I wanted a child, but I don't think so, because that shit was like a lie. It was a lie. It was very traumatic. I had a high-risk pregnancy. I went through a lot emotionally, you know, during that time as well. And so, it was a lot. But, I mean, yeah, that was just my experience.
Yeah.
You know.
High risk? How so?
What was one of the first issues that I had? I was bleeding a lot.
Okay.
So I thought, you know, several times we thought, okay, are you losing it? Like, I had a hard time
That's
conceiving.
scary. That's really scary. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think I could have kids for the longest time. And then, surprisingly, when I was separated, my ex-husband and I conceived. And we, you know, got pregnant with Lauren. And it was just like, whoa.
She was the best.
She really is. She's really cool. But I think a lot of it had to do with stress. Like, I was going through a lot at the time. It was in the heat of everything, you know, in the midst of the demise of my marriage. And so, my job was really stressful too. And so, like my boss was, if I could be honest, she was a bully, you know. And so that was really hard for me. At the time, I didn't have a voice, you know. I just didn't find it at that, you know, moment. And so I was under a lot of stress, and it really took a toll on my body. I actually had to resign. Like, I had to go on full bed rest, and I wasn't able to work. She just had a lot of complications. Like I said, the bleeding was a big issue. They were worried, you know, like, okay, don't move too much, basically. I had an issue with my cervix where they thought, like, I would go into preterm labor. So that was another issue, and I had to be on progesterone, and it was just a lot. It really was. I was going through it.
That's a lot for your first pregnancy.
Yeah, and so it really kind of tainted my view of it, honestly. I desire another child in the right environment, and if I had that life partner, not necessarily marriage, but someone that I, you know, could share that responsibility with, because it's a lot. And I'm the type of person, like, I like to just be on the go, and it'd be a lot sometimes. Like, there are times where I'm just like, I don't want want to do this. Like, I'm just being real. Like, it be like that. And,
I feel you.
You know, other times I'm like, oh, this is the best. Like, but I would rather share that with another person, especially with another child in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like sometimes I'm just like, I can't do this again. This shit was traumatic. Like, but yeah, like my question is, I guess, like, how did it change you? How did it shape you? What was your experience like being pregnant with your first child or your child?
You want to go first?
Sure. So, my experience was both easy and difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It was easy because I didn't have excessive complications or anything. It was a pretty run-of-the-mill pregnancy, except for the difficulty that I really couldn't eat anything. I didn't have morning sickness. I had morning, noon, and night.
Oh,
Twilight, break of dawn, dusk sickness. I couldn't keep anything down. I had to take medicine every day just to be able to eat. And then even with that medicine, I couldn't eat certain things. I had to, like, stick with, like, vegetables and fruit and grains and, like, maybe, like, some chicken or fish maybe. I couldn't really do a lot. And that's really, really hard because I'm a foodie. Like, I love eating. I eat when I'm happy. I eat when I'm sad. I eat when I'm bored. You know, so for me to not be able to eat anything and to keep throwing everything up at that time was so hard. And it got to a point where actually the medicine was making me sick instead of helping me to not be sick. Mm-hmm. And so I got, like, to the point where I couldn't hold anything down anymore. And I had to stop taking the medicine and ease my way back into eating without it. And so that was really the most difficult part of that. And the fact that I found out I was pregnant a week after my mom's funeral. And my dad had already died when I was 15. Wow. So I really went through it by myself. I didn't have anyone to hold my hand. I had to read books and articles and ask my doctor. And I did have this program through Mama Toto's Village, which is a nonprofit in D.C. And they set me up with a midwife and a doula. Mm-hmm. And they helped me through the process. We would meet, like, once a month with other moms. And that was such a blessing. But between me grieving and not being able to eat to cope, God, it was so hard.
Right.
But it was easy in the sense that I didn't have, like, physical complications with the baby. So I will say that it's a gamble. Every time you get pregnant, it's different. Mm-hmm. So I understand your apprehension because I'm also apprehensive about having another baby because I'm kind of like, what if next time it's the most awful thing that ever happened to me?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I bring a totally different perspective because I had 3 separate pregnancies. So, 3 brothers. But my first ever pregnancy, I was sick every single day, all day, much like you. I didn't have morning sickness. I had all day.
Okay.
Sickness. I mean, if I sipped water, I threw up.
I mean, she knows.
If I inhaled too hard, I threw up. Like, it was awful. Wow. And I, unfortunately, I did not have that baby. But so the first child that I birthed, my pregnancy was okay. I had morning sickness with every one of my kids, every single one. But each time it was less severe. So by the time I got to my son, which is my last child, I may have had morning sickness if I, like, sat up too fast or something, but it wasn't as bad as the first one. Was just all day, just disgusting, just unbelievable. But my first pregnancy with the child that I birthed, she it was easy. It wasn't too bad. I just didn't. I needed support. And I didn't have it. So that was difficult because I gained a lot of weight with her. I kind of teetered on the line of preeclampsia, but thank God I didn't have it. But I was very close. I couldn't wear shoes. Everything was swollen. My feet were swollen. My fingers were swollen. My nose, like, it was ridiculous. I was struggling with gaining all this weight. It was the largest I had ever been in my life. And I was like, oh God, I don't like myself. I don't feel pretty. I just wanted it over. Didn't enjoy it. My labor was fine. Birth was fine. My second child, however, that was a very hard pregnancy. When I was 3 months, so from the time I was 3 months until the time I delivered her, I was 3 centimeters dilated. Just for no reason. Wow. It was for a reason. I was very, very stressed. It was the most difficult point in my marriage at the time. Mm-hmm. I had like stress rashes. My skin would break out in an all over rash, and it was itchy and red from stress. But I didn't know that that's what was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah. So they wanted to put me on bed rest. Mm-hmm. However, I was the breadwinner in my home, so I couldn't. So that was really hard, much like you, lots of bleeding. I thought she wasn't going to make it here. My delivery was traumatic. They put my epidural in my sub-zero space, so they numbed all of my internal organs. So nothing, I was alive, but nothing was working. Wow. Nothing was working. So, she had to be vacuumed out. Like, that delivery was traumatic. It was awful. I was pretty much paralyzed from the waist down for like 4 days. I was in the hospital for a very long time after having her. Couldn't hold her because I couldn't move any of my limbs. It was really bad. And then my son was fine. Super pregnancy, he was just huge. I mean, he was huge. The entire time I was trying to tell them, like, this baby is obnoxious. Like, he's huge.
Wait, like, how much did he weigh?
He was born 9.
Not 9. 9 pounds?
Almost 10 pounds. He was almost 10 pounds. Ooh. And I tried to tell them that my entire pregnancy because I was trying to say, like, I need a C-section. There's no way he's coming out vaginally. And he came out vaginally in 2 pushes.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. And ripped ripped everything.
I got ripped too.
Yeah, he ripped everything. He was huge. So, but great kid. I mean, great delivery. It was worth it. Is basically what I'm saying. But every pregnancy truly is different. With my son, I had so much energy. I was just like, I could run a marathon. And he was the biggest baby. Wow. My girls wore the same exact weight. They were born in the same room of the same hospital, like Irish twins, really Irish twins. So, but everyone is different. But I understand your apprehension. Like, I have no desire to ever have another baby. Ever. Like, no. I'm done. But on the other hand, I do feel like I deserve a redo. Like, I want the partner that rub your feet and then go get your cravings in the middle of the night. Like, I want that. I want somebody who's actually excited about the baby and, that does the midnight feedings and all. I want a redo. But the thought of a diaper bag in a car seat, Jesus.
I still got it, so.
Oh, God. I mean, I wake up and I wake them up and I don't see them again until we walk out the door. Like, I love it.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, they dress themselves. They bathe themselves.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
That sounds quite wonderful,
My oldest can cook for them. Like,
wow.
It's wonderful. I can't imagine doing it all over again. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, wait, I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. I was about to say something profound and then I just lost it. It's okay.
It'll come around.
Yeah, I'm trying to set this up on my live too because I think this is such a great conversation.
It is. It's a great conversation. I'm loving this. Mm-hmm. I guess for me too, like as a single person, hearing all of this stuff. One of the things that for me I have definitely been afraid of is morning sickness for some reason. I don't like throwing up. I don't like getting sick.
I didn't have any. Zero.
I know. I was there the whole time.
You are such a blessed.
You
are so blessed.
Yeah. There is medicine though.
I mean, and I know, but sometimes if you can keep that down, you know what I'm saying. But I really do not want to have that like that. Just I'm like, God, please, please.
Right.
You know, when it comes time for me, just please.
And there's levels to it too. Like that's what makes it even worse. Like I had morning sickness that was kind of like, okay, I know at the same time every day I'm going to throw up.
Right.
But then I had morning sickness that came out of nowhere. Like one time I was on a train on the way to work and I had to get off at a stop that was not mine, throw up in the trash can on the platform. which also caused me to pee on myself, whole other situation, and get back on the train. Like,
Aww.
it's yeah.
Yeah, I had food aversions though. There were certain foods I just couldn't eat. Like, I just could not eat. It would make me sick. But I didn't have the sickness where it was just there.
Yeah,
it was just certain
just
foods.
nauseous.
Yeah, very nauseous, very nauseous. That was always there, like always. I lost weight with my pregnancy because it was just like I couldn't. It was just like food was just not pleasurable. I ate because I had to eat. It wasn't that appetite just goes away. I ate for the baby. Yeah, that was it.
Yes.
You know, I lost a lot of weight because I'm a big girl, so like naturally, you know. But yeah, it just. The baby just took all of it. Like,
yeah, I got pictures of her. Like, she was in her pregnancy. She didn't blow up until like her 8th or 9th month. She didn't really blow up.
You couldn't even tell she was pregnant.
Yeah, I mean, you guys literally showed up with a baby, and I was like, what?
Yeah, like, everybody was like that. Everybody was like, oh, who did daddy? I mean, let's be honest. We were separated.
I didn't think that because I didn't even know. You guys came to church together. Yeah. With a baby. I was like,
all of a sudden,
I don't like that too. I didn't blow up until like month 8.
Yeah, that's
suddenly I went from like 140 to like 165. But okay, so to pick back up what I remember now, I do want to have a baby again. But the only reason why is because I cannot let my first experience be my only experience. It has to be with some guy that I really, really, really am in love with.
Yes.
And it has to be like, we are in this together.
Yeah.
And it's a happy memory.
You know what I mean? I want that too.
It's possible. If we can think it can happen.
Yes.
And that's how people understand we can. If we think it can happen. If we say it can happen. Remember that, y'all. For real.
Exactly.
I desire that too because I was alone. I mean, I had support. Let me not say that I didn't, but I didn't have a partner. Like I was really in it by myself, honestly, for my entire pregnancy.
Yeah.
He was there, but we were not together. Ironically, we weren't. And I did it a lot of things by myself. I had support. You were there up through a lot of it, but at the end of the night, I was coming home with my pregnant baby and my belly by myself. Wasn't nobody rubbing my feet. Wasn't nobody feeling the baby kick but Tasha. And so, I want that experience too. Like, I desire that.
Me too.
For sure.
Me too. And it is a lot. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's a lot. Having multiple children, multiple personalities, different levels of understanding, and oh God, the emotions. Jesus, the emotions. Like,
that emotion.
Oh gosh. I mean, especially with those girls. Like, my goodness. But I really do want that. Like, I want a redo. Like, I want a partner that's just as excited as I am. Like, I mean, I was married. All my kids have the same dad. I had all of them within our marriage. But I was still alone.
Right.
You know, I was still alone. I laid next to someone every night and I was still alone. So I really do desire the opportunity to just have someone who's just genuinely excited. I just want him to be just as excited as me, you know?
Yeah.
I want to know what it's like to say, you got this diaper? Like, I want to know what that's like. I want to know what it's like to say, you know, I got the baby. You stay asleep. Like, I want to know what that's like. So, yeah.
I want the whole, like, just this wonderful guy. And he's sexy. And he has a great smile. And he makes me laugh. And he's also excited to be a dad.
Yeah.
And then he does the whole thing where he, like, takes care of you. And it's, even if it doesn't work out, it's still wonderful memories. Because, like, to be honest, it's like, although I don't regret my past experience, it's still, like, if that's the only kid I have organically, I feel robbed. Like, you're not going to be the only experience I need to go, even if I got to go get knocked up by some dude that I just feel cool with, we're going to have a different experience. It's not going to be it.
Right.
You know?
I get that, though. I really do. I get that.
But it can be really traumatic. I mean, even though I don't have children, I mean, I'm still somebody's child. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I know what it feels to be alone. Like, you know, I guess I heard it from all y'all perspectives, but for me, like, I'm alone most of the time. You know what I'm saying? And it can be a lot because I have family, you know, in the area. You know what I'm saying? I have my mom and my dad are alive, but, you know, they're doing their own things. You know what I'm saying? Never really had a family that was really, like, close-knit. So I don't really know what that feels like to have somebody, like, really care for me. I don't really know what it feels like to have, like, a father to be there and be like, hey, I got you. Like, I love you. Like, I'm giving me affirmations and, you know, giving me the kind of love. I don't know what that feels like. So it's like being out here, going back to, you know, the whole dating situation and all of that. Like, I don't really know what it feels like to have a good example of a man. But what I'm grateful for is that I haven't had any kids right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say that. I said earlier, you know, I felt a little guilt sometimes because I see, like, people like Tasha, you know, you all that I really care about. And, you know, having to struggle by yourself, that makes me feel guilty because it's like, dang, like, I just want to do something. You know, I want to be able to sympathize with you all, but I can, but I just don't have any children. Mm-hmm. But I want to feel loved. I want to feel cared for and all that kind of stuff. And it's hard, and, you know, to be by myself. And it's a struggle at times because, you know, being depressed at times, because I do struggle with that. I struggle with anxiety. I struggle with depression. I struggle with all of those things. And sometimes, like, I've witnessed, you know, with Tasha's daughter, like Lauren, walk up to me and hug me and just give me that smile. Mm-hmm. And her love is so pure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've never felt that, really, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like, from an innocent place. Yeah. Of course, you know, I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's different when it's a child.
Oh, yeah.
And they just walk up to you and just hug you and be like, I love you. Mm-hmm. And when Lauren walks up to me and tells me she loves me, oh, it's my whole world. Yeah. And I love you, editor. And kiss me on my cheek or just give me a kiss, you know, and just hug me randomly. And then just say random things to me. Editor, just start talking to me her little language she speaks. Right. You know? But I love it. It's nothing like that kind of love. Like, and sometimes, like, when you're going through that, sometimes all you want is something pure just to just touch you, hug you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
There's a way that a child can love that an adult just can't. Mm-hmm. And there's a way that an adult can love that a child just can't. Mm-hmm. And both are valuable. Right. You need both experiences.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I agree.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. For sure.
Because sometimes I'm like, I love you, Lauren, but I want that adult companionship too. You know, I can desire that as well. You are great. You fill a great space in my heart. Mm-hmm. But I want companionship too. Yes. I want a partner.
I'm telling you. I want to talk about something other than Coco Melon.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Like, I love you, and I love your LOLs, but I don't want to play with them anymore. Not another day. I don't want to. Like, my son thinks that I'm a 6-year-old boy. Like, stop trying to wrestle me. Like, I love you, kid. Like, but yes, I'm like, you have to stop tackling me. Like, But I love my kids. I do, but there are a lot of moments as a single woman where I'm just like, I wish that when playtime was over, I could go be with an adult. Like,
you need it.
Yeah, I wish that, like, like, I can have a really bad day, and there is no love like the love of a child. I mean, my kids have the ability to make me forget that I hate my job. Like, I walk in the door and they're like, Mommy! You are the greatest! Like, it's like, I just yelled at you 5 minutes ago. But okay, and they're like, you make the best food, you buy the best toys. Like, they think my, spit is amazing. Like, and I love, that does something for me. It really does, but when it's all said and done, and the house is quiet, and everyone's gone to their rooms, like, I want to just be like, babe, this day, hug me right now. Like, bring it in. And I don't have that. Like, there are days where I'm okay with that because I like my space. Like, I'm okay. Like, I will dive in the middle of my bed and just be like, yes. Yeah. But then there are days where I'm like, I just want to, I need a chest, a manly chest to just lay right here. Like, like, my son will crawl in my bed and he's great, but that ain't it.
It ain't it. It's not honest. Yeah, no, I get it. I do. Because it's like, I love spending time with Bree. It's amazing. Because we're kind of like, we almost have a big sister, little sister sort of vibe going on.
Same
like, we tease each other, and we'll play around. But then, like, I really, really need my walks, like, every day. When it's not freezing outside and not snowing, I walk in the morning and I walk in the evening. And it's just me. There's no kid. There's no company. I just need to be with my music or listening to the air.
Yeah.
And I've learned to prioritize that simple form of self-care where I'm out for half an hour or an hour because there's a park nearby. So I can walk among the trees and by the creek, come back home, and I'm like, now we can talk about Spider-Man for the 50th time.
Yes.
And it's okay.
It's necessary.
You know?
It really is. I'm not saying until I take care of Tasha. Like, when Lauren goes to bed, it's like, okay, self-care time, whatever that is, whether it's like binge watching Shameless or drinking some wine or some other activities or, like, you know, just talking to a male, like having some male companionship or having that conversation with the male or eating some of my favorite food, whatever. Like, I'm not okay until I take care of me.
Yeah.
And I've learned to prioritize myself, not just as a mom, but just as an individual, because growing up, especially in the church, it's not, it's like, it's just really like dimmed. Like, it's just not important.
Yeah.
It's all about, okay, doing these certain acts and services to make sure you're good and saved, you know? And then I was like, okay, but what about me? I'm hurting. I'm not satisfied.
Yeah.
I'm not happy. I need something else.
We're still people.
And they teach you it's not okay to be happy. Like, you have to, and it's like, why not? Like, even the Bible says the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and they that dwell therein. Like, he gave it to us for a reason. You know, it's not just for us to sit here and be like, what do you want?
Yeah.
I gotta do what you say. Like, no, I don't want to feel like I have to be controlled or answer to a certain individual. Like, that's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I want to do what brings me joy and pleasure. And I think up until maybe last year sometime, I'm still coming to the understanding that, hey, like, my feelings are really valid. Like, I can really be okay. And my feelings really do matter. And they really, like, I can be happy for real. Like, I never thought that. I thought I was just like, well, how are you feeling? How's your day? And I would never tell myself. And people to this day still ask me, you got siblings? You have parents? Because I never talk about myself. Never do. And it's like, I'm just so used to that now. Like, I'm just like, oh, you asking about me? Really? Oh, well, yeah, I have, yeah.
It's a double whammy when you're a Christian and a woman, because we are definitely socialized on both sides to be subservient and to take care of everyone else.
Yes.
Even if you've never set foot in a church and your parents don't know anything about, you know, the concept of God, women are taught that your job is to take care of the men around you. And if you have female friends, you have to make sure they're okay. And you can't, you know, be so confident in yourself, because what if you make someone else feel uncomfortable?
Right.
You have to talk about your insecurities like everyone else does.
Dim your light.
And you have to dim your light
absolutely.
so no one else feels uncomfortable. And you can't say that anyone might be jealous or anyone might not like you because you just sound conceited. And it's just like all these rules for women that are just completely unrealistic. You add being a Christian to that, and oh my God.
Yes.
And then being black to that.
Oh,
Black women have it harder than any other one in this country. We are the ones who are supposed to take care of everybody else, and no one gives a shit about us, let's be honest.
Facts.
Like I said, you add church to that, and now you have this triple intersectional experience of having to make sure that everybody else is good, and no one cares about you because you should just not care about yourself, basically. You know? And it takes a lot of unlearning to get past.
Yes,
a lot.
You just literally got that out of my spirit. Unlearning. That is a whole experience in itself.
It's a big deal.
I'm still unlearning.
And it's not
It's
one
not,
topic.
honestly.
Like,
It's
it's insane. It's almost like you have to take everything you've ever been taught and just burn it. Like, it's almost like, because once you really tap into even the slightest amount of freedom, you realize all of that is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's why I'm
all
Samantha.
of it. Me too.
Yeah.
Because it's insane. Like, you lose yourself in a marriage for sure, but in a marriage to a preacher.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Oh, you know something about that baby a little bit. Yes, ma'am.
It's insane. Like the way that I was convinced that I was invisible is unhealthy. It is terrible. Like I was convinced that I could be in a room and no one saw me. Like I was so convinced that I just didn't matter. Like I wasn't important. It was either him or the kids. And I spent so many days just wishing, like, I wish that somebody would just say, "Are you okay?"
No.
I wish that somebody would just say, "Do you need a hug? Like, do you want to talk?" But no one ever did. And it was like the work that I did to make sure that he was seen in this bright, beautiful light. And I got no credit for it. I got no credit for it. The work that I put in to make sure that my kids were well dressed and well mannered and that, they were well behaved, no credit for it. It's just like, who do you think is keeping this family afloat? Like, I work every day, I cook, I clean, I'm obligated to have sex with this human. Like,
right.
What? I need a break.
Now you're reading my soul.
From my own life. I need a break from my life. And that is what I never want to do or experience. And I never want another woman to experience it either. Like, it is the worst feeling ever to wake up every day to a life that is not even yours.
And that you hate.
You
know there's something out there for you.
Yeah.
And you just don't know how to get it.
Yeah.
You just don't know how. And you don't know if you can or if you should because God said. The Bible says. It's, I have a similar
pastor
experience.
said.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was the preacher more so than he was, but that was the problem.
Me too, but I was silent.
Wow. There we go. There we go.
I was the preacher without the voice, without the platform. He was the preacher with the platform.
Right.
That was the difference. Like he had the charisma. All I had was the truth.
Yeah.
Like, I may not have the personality. I can't make you shout, but I can help you get your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can tell you exactly what the meaning behind the scripture is. Like, I could do that, but because I didn't have the charisma, I couldn't make you shout. I'm not a performer.
Yeah, I hate it.
I'm not a performer. I don't
it.
enjoy spotlight.
No.
I do not do fake at all. Even when I tried, it was just so uncomfortable. I stopped trying, but I don't do that well. I am who I am, no matter what arena I'm in. When I go to work, I'm the same way I am in church. When I go to church, I'm the same way I am at home. I'm the same person. Whereas he was just very good at putting on the costume and sing,
Oh, wow.
I wasn't good at that. I mean, I will get on a pulpit in a minute with exactly whatever I wore to church. That's when we get up there on that mic with. Whereas there are church clothes, there are church, personalities. There's church hair. There's church shoes. No. If I have on Adidas, that's what I'm wearing. Like,
basically.
You want me to pray? I'm going to pray in these Adidas. If that's not to your liking, I'm just not going to pray.
And it's not going to be the structure that you prefer, but who cares because you're not God.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why you're so hung up on that.
Exactly.
Right.
I might not even close my eyes, but please
All right.
God hear me.
Okay, so my eyes is open.
Yeah.
Right. You think God's going to be like, oh.
Pray and watch, okay?
Right.
He didn't say watch and pray.
Lift your dirty hands up. No, I understand.
That's funny. Yeah, I can definitely say that, so first of all, do you guys know your Enneagram types?
What type?
Enneagram.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Myers-Briggs. Okay, so they're personality tests. We have to take them. But my Enneagram type is 8. And it is the most masculine type of personality.
Mm-hmm.
It is the take charge, figure things out, I don't need any help. I got this. And that was so frowned upon in the church.
Oh, yes.
I was shamed in every single way you could think of.
Oh, yes.
I'm naturally a leader. My former husband was not.
Mm-hmm.
He was passive. I was assertive.
Boy, okay.
I was talented, he was not.
Bless
I was
your
gifted,
heart.
he was not.
Mhm.
I had to teach him how to use a credit card.
Mhm.
I had to teach him how to upload things to his Metro card.
Metro.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I had to teach him basic things. And I didn't do it from a gloating
Job
standpoint. Applications.
She had to
you
do
were
his
there
job
for that.
I filled those out.
I had to
myself.
do all of those things. You see what I'm saying?
Telling him to do it was pointless.
Basically.
Just give it to me.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
Wow.
you're doing this behind the scenes, and you're trying to basically, I want to say upgrade you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Baby, let me upgrade you.
Mhm.
And, you're trying to just be helpful.
Mhm.
But the way the church does it is you have to let him shine and you can't shine.
Mhm.
So imagine me being a person that's naturally like, when I say I was the
Yes.
top of my class, and I was in all the advanced classes, and I had I got the President's Award in 5th grade. You know what I mean? And, I was on a DCU City Council as a serving council member. I was published first time at 14. I had a lot of things going for me. It's like the spotlight just found me wherever I went.
Mhm.
And so now I'm in a position where they're asking me, well, you can't do it. You have to give it to someone else. And this person
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have the gift or the skill or the acclamation for it all. But I have to kind of basically do the job of building them up and making sure they're okay to do this, while also not taking any credit whatsoever, while also being shamed for being able to do that at all,
Mhm.
while also, it's just a lot. And it was kind of ridiculous. It got to the point where I was just exhausted. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, first of all, I'm a human being.
Mhm.
And I'm capable, and I should be acknowledged for being capable. I feel like that's pretty fucking basic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't feel like I just shouldn't get you don't get the respect because you have a vagina. I can do something he can't do, and that's push out a human. So
Listen.
maybe,
Listen.
maybe I should get a little more respect, you know.
Mhm.
But I say that to say that it's really, really hard when, like I said, as a black woman in the church, you're taught in every single way that who you are is not important unless it is in service of someone else,
Right.
and you have to unlearn that.
Mhm.
You know, now I'm in a place where I'm so comfortable in my skin and having a platform and things like that, and that's a blessing. But I look at the old me and I'm like, wow.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not ashamed of you in any way.
Mhm.
I don't denigrate you or downplay you in any way, but I feel for you.
Yes.
Because you don't know that one day
Yeah.
you're going to be just fine.
Mhm.
That how awful this feels, the hell that it feels like,
Mhm.
is not even, you're going to be okay. You're not even going to care,
Right.
you know?
Half of it you won't remember.
Yo.
Because I know a lot of stuff. I look at pictures, and in those pictures, I can remember where I was in that
Yeah.
moment, and I'm like, "Oh my, I forgot that
Yeah,
even happened." Yeah, it's crazy.
It really is.
It's crazy.
But when you look at some of those pictures, the pain that you felt at that moment, you kind of feel when you look at those pictures.
yeah,
sometimes.
the pain. I can say the pain never goes away,
Mm.
but it somehow turns into strength. Like,
Mm.
you look at the picture and yeah, you remember the pain, and sometimes you can physically feel it all over again. But it's like, yeah, I'm never gonna be there again. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that pain and I'm going to apply pressure.
Mm.
And at some point, this is gonna become my purpose. Like, I know it. I know
Yeah.
at some
Yeah.
point, you know, this is gonna be for my good.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel good, you know, at the moment, but yeah, I look back at some of those pictures even from 3 years ago. Just 3 years ago, and I'm like, wow.
Mm.
Like, I'm a totally different person. I don't even physically look the same.
Wow.
Like, it's insane. And freedom, I want everybody to have it. Like, I want everybody
Everyone,
to
yes.
have it.
Mhm.
I wish that church was more free, because I like church. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy going there. I like singing.
Mhm.
I like the choir. I like, you know, the drum. Like, you know, I like me a good prayer, you know, but it's so closed in.
Yeah.
It's just so,
I like the concept without the human.
yes. Yes. Like, if church was an iPad, like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, that'd
know?
be great. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I mean that's like that's why Erica and I like really started this journey, like because we are learning to find that freedom, and freedom for me means challenging, you know, those behaviors that I grew up with or that I learned, you know, and unlearning them. It looks like doing things that I desire, no matter what people say.
Yes.
Whatever satisfies me, honestly.
Yes.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Being comfortable in my own skin, doing things that I love and desire, traveling, you know, getting in touch with my sexuality, dating, being me, being real, no filter. That's what freedom looks like for me.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really what, you know, coming into my 30s is what it's been about. Like, you know.
Yeah, I think for me, this for me, I'm learning to find my voice more and advocate for myself. That's very important.
Same.
Yeah, it's very important to know that you have a voice and that you what you feel is okay. I've been taught for so long that you know, get out your flesh. You can't feel this, you can't feel that, you can't do this, you can't do that. That's not of God. And it's just like, you know, for me, growing up, my parents really weren't like, you know, saved, you know, Holy Ghost filled, typical, you know, in church all week, you know, no. But at the age of 16 is when I really got, like, you know, like when I really started getting serious. I made my own decision to go to church. I made my own decision to, like, really, like, seek God for myself. And then, like, I got filled with the Holy Ghost, you know, at the age of 16. And, like, from there, like, my life just kind of, like, took off, like, spiritually. But then, when I moved here, because I'm not from here, so when I moved here, it was a lot. It was a lot that happened in the church. A lot of those people that was in the church was really trying to stifle and shut me down.
Oh, yeah.
They saw me growing leaps and bounds. And they could not stand it.
Nope.
And they were, they saw me, they saw God using me. They saw, like, just how I really functioned just within my own way, and they didn't like it, and I got accused of so many things. Like, I got accused of trying to kill the pastor.
No, what?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You mean like murder?
Yes, murder. I got accused of trying to murder the pastor because apparently, and like y'all know this is Final Freedom, so we're being transparent here, and vulnerable, but this is about Final Freedom. But honestly, like, I got accused because, you know, people understand, you know, any leader who is a real leader knows the difference between a demon and what's not a demon.
Right.
Even I knew, of course, at the tender age of 16 and 17, what a demon was. You know what I'm saying? And so I got accused of trying to threaten the pastor during deliverance service or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So I was staying with a member of the church at the time, and they approached me and was like, "Oh, you there's a rumor going around the church that you tried to kill the pastor." And I said, "What?"
Okay, that's a lot.
I was like,
How do you rumor that? I feel like that should be a fact before you even say something like that.
Rumor?
Yeah, it's a rumor going
I'm
around
sorry,
the church.
murder isn't a rumor.
I want
Right.
to say, like, that's kind of really serious.
It is.
It
It is
is
very
OJ
serious.
right now.
So, you know, they accused me, and then, so, all of a sudden, they had tryouts coming up for the praise team. I was on the praise team. And I went to tryouts that Tuesday after I heard that. And so they opened the room for somebody else to do the praise team. I got called downstairs to the minister. It was the pastor's son. The pastor's brother and the minister of music at the time. And was like, "Oh, we have to sit you down for 6 months. You can't do anything. You can't do this. You can't do that." And I was like, "Why would y'all believe that?" I was like, "I would never try to do that, especially not in my right mind. I would never do that." And it was like, "Well, who do you think we're gonna believe?" And I was like, I was just flabbergasted. I couldn't even think. I was so numb. I just walked back upstairs, got my stuff, and I walked out the door. They was like yelling my name. People who was on the praise team yelling my name, and I just kept walking. I was like, it's nothing. I mean, you know, I've been so beat down by the church year after year. Leadership, I got stories. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I know we off topic, but I guess we got to go here. But you know, it's hard when going back to what I was talking about growing up in a home without a parent. You know, growing up without certain type of parenting. I guess I should say that. It's hard to even try to go into the church and try to find that kind of love, and you don't ever find it. So imagine being at the age I am now and still not understanding or still not finding that love from a male, or from people who are supposed to love you the way they're supposed to love you. And then now I'm learning everything on my own. So when I'm talking about finding my voice, when I'm talking about finding my identity, when I'm talking about being comfortable with my skin, it has been a huge journey for me. You know, and it's like I've taken that from myself because I'm like, well, you know, it's all right. It's not as bad as this person's stuff. It's not as bad as that person's stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I try to just, you know, minimize how I feel and not. But it's like what I've been through is what I've been through. It's been a lot. And it's just like, you know, and going back to what we were talking about, having a love a child. You know, sometimes, you know, I just desire just somebody just to give me that. You know, not that I depend on that, because I am learning to love myself. But it's hard when you got to come home every day to yourself sometimes and just have nobody there when that's all you wanted. And then you keep being told, well, you just gotta wait. You just gotta wait. It ain't time yet.
I hate
I'm so sick and fucking tired. So I'm hearing that. So I have to be honest about where I'm at with that, because it's like, you know, I'm tired of people in the church telling me, well, you have to just wait on God. It's like, okay, wait. Like, if I have these desires for a mate, and I really have these desires, where they coming from?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Keep it in there.
Yeah.
Like,
Hello.
I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, first of all, say you want to keep me from reaching my fullest potential without saying it.
Period.
And that's pretty much what that is.
Period. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, why? What's the point of this little light of mine? I'm gonna
come on.
if you gonna give me levels to it. Like, yeah, you
If
shine,
you gonna let it shine,
but not
or
too bright. Like,
Right.
what? It's black or white. Okay,
But
ain't
until
no gray
I
area.
feel comfortable letting you.
Yeah,
let it shine.
that's.
Yeah.
And
Control
I've
and
never,
manipulation.
I've never been good with asking permission to use what I got. Like, it's in me. Like, this is who I am, and I have to ask permission to be who I am.
Oh my.
I've never been good with that. Like, ask my mama. I ain't never been
No,
good
you're
with that.
completely right about that. Because honestly, at the end of the day, what business is it of mine to control what you got going on?
Right.
What God gave you is none of my business.
Right.
I don't have a right.
Right.
And vice versa.
Mhm.
So when I walk into a room, if I'm shining, boo-boo, I guess I'm shining today, and you got to get used to it.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
okay.
you're not going to do is tell me what I should and should not be doing at this point in my life.
Yeah.
That's insane. I'm
Because
not
you're
hurting
not-
anyone. I'm not taking anything from anyone. Like, if you go in the bread aisle in the grocery store, it's 1,000 different
come
brands
on.
of the same bread. So why the church can't function like that?
I
Like,
understand.
what
It's
is
both
the
for
problem?
everybody.
It really is.
God knew what he was doing when he created all of us.
Yeah, and
Honestly.
if he's saying one can chase 1,000, two can put 10,000 to flight. If when you put your shine with my shine, imagine what we can do.
Yes.
Instead of you trying to dim mine, let's put these things together. We'd be a whole lighthouse.
Well,
Like,
that takes a secure person.
a secure
There you
The
go.
thing about it,
person.
the thing about the
Yes.
church, what I feel like its fatal flaw is that it rewards people without them having to work hard. Now, let me explain.
Mhm.
So, in the world, right, you have to
Yeah.
prove yourself before you get praised. You do.
You do.
You don't walk
Ooh,
onto a stage and say, "Hey, I'm going to be performing at the Grammys this year because I just want to be a singer."
Mhm.
They're going to be like, "Where are your records?
Yes.
Where are your sold out concerts?
Yes.
Where's the years under your belt before you
Mhm.
grace the
I
stage?"
need that resume.
I need that
Yeah,
resume.
absolutely.
Yes.
Now, the thing about the church is that most people, and I find pastors especially sort of have this story of, I was rejected. No one liked
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Nobody wanted to be my friend. No one
Mhm.
sat with me at lunch. Blah, 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 blah. And then God gave me this space and he saw me and now I am someone through him. And so you go from being nobody to somebody without having to work for that. And the thing is, the problem is that if you have a sort of, and I'm going to get into a little bit of medical stuff now, just, and I hope you guys are okay, but a little bit of science. If you are imbalanced and you haven't gone to therapy and you haven't actually sought to fix whatever is going on mentally, and you jump straight to being validated, that's not really good. It's not.
Mhm.
Because all that space is doing is validating your insecurity. It's validating your instability without
Yeah.
asking you to work on yourself first. If it just says come as you are and you're automatically accepted, then that means I don't have to fix my narcissism.
Mhm.
I don't have to fix my personality disorder. I don't have to fix my expectations or work on myself at all.
Right.
I'm just perfect the way I am.
Mhm.
And so now I'm in a leadership position. And this is what gives me validation. And I can now exercise control over other people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I have not worked on myself to earn leadership. You see what I'm saying?
And
I just have it because I exist.
Mhm.
And while in theory that sounds like a promising concept to someone who, you know, the process of working on yourself seems like this daunting thing and you have no clue how long it's going to take, in reality, there's a reason why that process exists.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
So
would-
true.
Never want to have the platform I have now as a person I was 10 years ago.
So true.
Nothing was wrong with that person. That person was not ready to be a leader.
Mm-hmm.
That person needed to go to therapy. That person needed to understand herself
Yeah.
and how to relate to the world around her. And having gone through that, I'm now ready. But I was not ready then. I probably would have abused my power without realizing it because I didn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? The church is messed up in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where that
That's
abuse
true.
comes from,
Yeah.
honestly. You know, you have this power, but you haven't dealt with nothing. You
Mhm.
haven't gone to therapy. Okay, narcissist in the pulpit, and then,
Woo.
you know what I mean?
Woo.
Should go-
Narcissist in the pulpit.
Yeah.
And it's all masked in you memorize some scriptures.
Mhm.
Like there's no power.
and
Yeah.
charisma.
There's
like you
no
were saying.
there's no anointing. You have a great personality and a good memory. Like
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah,
Like,
But then I'm sorry. You know what they're honing on, and they say, and they quote this: "Gifts and callings are without repentance." Like they say, oh well, they use that for their, you know, like yes, like we all have something. All of us do. Like if you line people who don't go to church up, and people and just like Ellie said earlier, people who don't go to church and people who do go to church, you line them all up. We all got some type of purpose and callings and all the other kind of stuff. We were all born with it. But what you do with yourself, yourself, that's what matters. And her and I was talking about this earlier about bleeding on people. You know, about all of this stuff about how you just because you got some exposure doesn't mean that you are allowed to do whatever you want to do with it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
See, without working on yourself first, you don't realize that.
no.
And so the thing about human beings is that we're exceptionally resilient. So whatever we experience consistently becomes our normal as a means
That's
of
very true.
survival.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is if you've only experienced trauma, you don't even realize that you've experienced trauma because that is your normal.
Yeah.
So, for instance, when I was in college, I did have a college counselor. And she and I shared this in common. She shared her story about the first time she was in class in freshman year. And they were kind of sharing their childhood experiences as a warm-up, if I'm not mistaken. And she was just joking about, you know, oh, yeah, my mom used to, like, beat me for everything, you know? Like, and it's the kind of thing that we joke about as black people. We're just like, yeah, she used to grab the extension cord, grab the broom, grab the mop. And, you know, we make it fodder, but at the end of the day, it's not funny.
Right.
Because you should never. And it wasn't until she saw other people's reactions who weren't from that same space that she was like, okay, something's wrong. Like, what's wrong with y'all?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mhm.
And they're just kind of like, no, what's wrong with you, but kind of what's wrong with you. Like, that's not okay. You shouldn't be acting about that.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
you know. And then it started her on her journey of healing and understanding that she had to actually unlearn her experiences and see her family in different light and everything she learned in different light.
Mm-hmm.
And I had that same experience going to college with a bunch of, you know, relatively wealthy white kids in New York City. I went to a, what do they call it? It's the opposite of a black college.
Predominantly
PWI.
white.
Yes,
Yeah,
PWI. I went to a PWI. And
Never
everybody was well off, okay? And, you know, me trying to relate to other people, it just felt like a lot was lost in translation. And it wasn't until I was there that I realized, like, damn, I actually came from a space of a lot of trauma. Like, it's not normal to know that everyone's abusing drugs and alcohol.
Right.
Or to see it.
Mhm.
It's not normal to get beaten for every little thing. It's not normal to have to sweep that under the rug and laugh the next day like nothing happened.
Mhm.
You know, but you don't know that
Yeah.
until you know that.
Right.
And so, with people who are thrown into leadership positions who haven't had the chance to assess that, they think of it as, oh, that's just my upbringing, you know? and they're just like going off of what they know. But if all you know is trauma, then what are you giving?
Yeah, and all of that translates into marriage too. That's why premarital counseling is so important. However, most of it is church Christian based.
Oh my God.
And so you still, there's no healing still takes place. No growth still takes place. Like premarital counseling should be down and dirty. You should discuss everything. I mean, it should bring up all the trauma. It should bring up all the heartache. It should bring up all the personality disorders. All that should come out in premarital counseling so you can make a sound decision about the marriage. It is okay to go to premarital counseling and figure out, this is not what I want. You know what? We're going to be good friends. But that's it. You know,
that's what it's supposed to be
That's
for.
what it's supposed to be for. But because you go right back to that unhealed pastor who is your premarital counselor,
or not wanting to be told what to do, or you don't want things exposed, and so when you get into, and that's why we have such a high divorce rate in this country, because nobody wants to be told what to do, or told that, hey, you might, the light needs to be shown in these areas, and you don't want the light to be shown. Trust me, I know someone right now who just got married not too long ago, never got counseled, don't want nobody to tell them what to do at all, and guess what? The marriage is crumbling.
Miserable.
It's crumbling now.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and it's like it's sad that you have friends in your life that you cannot tell them or talk to them about the truth.
Yeah.
That's hard.
So are we going to talk about the church having an agenda? Because church
I think right now,
oh yeah, we are definitely hitting in the.
Did we even hit all the
I know. We've been here for a minute.
I think, you know what? I think the church for me, the whole subject of church is something that is a big thing for me. I think it's going to be multiple segments.
That needs to be in a episode of its own. And it needs to have volumes.
That's why I was talking about that. Because it's a major topic. I think all of us have came from that background of church. All of us have. All of us have not really had great experiences, but there have been great learning experiences.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's a part of finding freedom too. Like, it is just in general, like learning your own identity outside of the church.
Yeah. Because that's a whole other topic. I think we need to end right now. We did start out talking about mothers, single mothers, and me, that doesn't have any children, and it was awesome. If you didn't catch it in the beginning, you have to go back in the beginning. We might try to chop this up a little bit so everybody
release this into separate.
Yes. Because, and I think that we'll have to continue. We will. Now, I don't think we will have to continue this topic about church
for sure.
Next go around, because we have to do this. But we love you.
Yeah.
We thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh, we had a lot of people join us. I'm loving
thank you for joining
it.
us tonight. Any comments that you have said, we will go back and answer. We will go back and all of us will go back and address whatever you had to say.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. This was amazing for our first
That's it.
Finding Freedom mukbang.
However you say that.
Mukbang. Thank you.
Please like and subscribe, y'all, and share.
Yeah.
Like, share, comment, subscribe.
Yes. All of that.
All of us are on Instagram. But this will be uploaded to YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel. It's Finding Freedom. We will be posting this on the Finding Freedom Instagram page. Okay? Finding Freedom. If you want to find us on Instagram, it's Finding Freedom 22. Say it again.
Finding Freedom 22, guys.
Yes. So please like, share, subscribe, bookmark, all that good stuff. Because it is going to be an amazing journey that you're going to see us go on. I'm telling you, you're going to find freedom for real. Because we're finding freedom. As we find it, we're going to expose all of it to you so that you can find it. I cannot wait to hear from you all. We cannot wait.
Absolutely.
Thank you all, Miss Ellie, for joining us, Miss Kiki for joining us. If y'all can tell me your Instagrams or whatever y'all want to.
You can follow me at Queen Ellie Imani. That's Queen ELLIEIMANI. But it will be in the description box below.
Yes.
Yeah, that part. No, but on Instagram, I'm Akila Janae. You probably won't spell that right, so it'll be in the description box.
Yes. But thank you again for joining us. We love you all. Have a good night.
Good night, love.
Good night.
Cut it off for me.
Yes, indeed. And may you also enjoy a crusty crab or crab.